In our first glimpse, let me introduce Frank Judson of Detroit and his partner, Cev Omino of Italy. Since wrestling is now exciting so much national interest, these intimate shots will explain why. Wrestlers usually circle their opponents to study their style and to dart into exposed openings. The idea of this gentle art is to pin your opponent's shoulders to the floor. However, Judson began immediately to clamp familiar holds on Omino. But here's how he breaks away from the clutches of Omino and counters with another attack. On the floor, it's every man for himself. And here's the latest wrinkle in quick action on the floor. The work is fast, done without a loss of a moment. One of the most sensational holds in wrestling is familiarly called the barrel roll. The foot pressure cannot be shaken off, and the helpless opponent continues his dizzy rolling. Another distressing hold is a rolling toe hold, followed by the agonizing leg spread. And a wrestler must suffer and hope for the best, because if he reclines, he touches his shoulders to the mat and loses. And then there's the reverse headlock, which we also show in slow motion. You can get an idea of the way these wrestlers get thrown about in these pictures. The idea is to weaken an opponent's resistance, to get him dizzy, to cause him anguish, or make him suffer so badly that he resigns in order to save himself from dangerous physical consequences. Hence we see these series of holds, none of which are winning holds particularly, but all of which help in the final result. The famous flying mare is a good body slam, always applied in series of more than 2 or 3. And when you're finished with this, you feel like the morning after the night before. The punishing effect of the wrist lock and the head scissors is easily discernible when you see this sort of thing. Look at the anguish in his face. See how he tries to break the hold, and then he finally does with a rollover on top of Frank Judson. And in our next shot, the Stepover Japanese toe hold used by Frank Judson helps relieve headache trouble. You know, there's a good old method of pushing the chin further into the face. It's a great help. But Judson decides to pound the mat down with Omino's body. First he jabs him, and then he picks him up in what is known as a pickup and body slam. And wow, look at that, right on the canvas. And here it is in slow motion, 215 pounds of beef and brawn resting on top of another wrestler. And the breaking of this hold is done in just this manner. And our closing hold, which shows next, is a short arm scissors. This hold numbs the arm, causes shoulder muscle strain, and the throwback on the attempted breaking of the hold by the opponent doesn't help the appetite much. But don't try it out on the wife. It may not work. Here we are at